Hey, what's up guys, it's Theo from Concept. So today I'm going to show you how to create this levitating photo effects in Adobe Photoshop. First of all, I'm going to show you how to take the pictures so that it's going to make it a lot easier when you bring it into Photoshop to edit. So let's just get started. Welcome to Concept. Click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. So lucky for me, we found the perfect spot. There's this old railway just behind where I live and it is not functioning, so it is safe and okay to use. Initially when I walked to the place, I thought probably we should just go with the right side. So I wanted to go with this one instead, but the rail was actually curving, so we decided to use the first one I suggested to myself. So we just grabbed a chair, I grabbed my monopod, and I'm taking the pictures using a monopod because I want to get the angle from the bottom. I think it looks a lot nicer than just filming or taking the pictures from a tripod. So over here you can see him standing on the chair. I forgot to take a background picture, so I asked him to get down. So once I was about doing that, I realized that a lady was walking up to us, so I decided to wait for her to pass. You can just take the picture, but that's actually going to be one more thing you have to take away once we enter Photoshop. I didn't want to go through the whole process of that. Everyone knows I'm lazy, so I just waited and then take the empty shot of the background from there. So there are a bunch of poses, but the ones I saw on Instagram feels like you are floating in the air, and I think I illustrated it perfectly to him, so he got the gist of it. Okay, so over here I'm asking him to take the chair out so that I can get a shot of the empty background, and once that is done, you put the chair back and you get into that position. Now make sure you don't move the camera, or else this is going to be one other thing you have to do in Photoshop in case it is not aligned perfectly. So we ended up with a couple of pictures, and I think I got the ones I liked. So that is what you are going to use. So let's just dive into Photoshop. Alright, so let's go ahead and open up our application. For this tutorial I'm using Photoshop CC 2018, and we got a bunch of pictures, but I think I'll be going with just these two because I don't know, they look cooler to me. So this is a shot of the empty background, and this is a shot of him posing. So those are the two I'm going to click and drag into the work. So I'll just place it in Photoshop like so. So what I'm going to do is actually grab one of my selection tools. So I'll be using the rectangular marquee tool just to create a selection around this. You can also use Ctrl A to do that, and I'll use Ctrl X to cut it out and close this document up. Now once I've done that, I'll paste it in here with Ctrl V. You can also go to edit and paste. Okay, so let's zoom this to see. So basically I'll reduce the opacity of the main image, which is the one he is actually in, to about 50% so that I can align this perfectly. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit using the move tool and the arrow keys on my keyboard. I'll try to align this. So just pressing the arrow up key, I think this is aligned almost perfectly. Okay, so let's see. I think this is much better, but I have some form of shadow over here, so I'm not going to bother with that right now. Now I'm just interested in getting the opacity back to 100%. So the best thing to do is, if you have a cloth or something, a long straight dress, you should probably cover the chair with it. It makes it a lot easier and it makes the effect sell. But since I didn't have that in this case, the chair is actually overlapping the skin, but I will find a way to get it out of the picture. So just grab any of your selection tool, or basically you can just use the brush tool, but I prefer to create a selection first. So I'll use the pen tool to create a selection like so, just around this area. So once I'm done, I'll right click and go to make selection, and I'll create a layer mask on that. So that part is just showing. So with the layer mask selected, hold down Ctrl and press I. That's going to invert the selection. Now from here I'll just grab my brush tool and I'll just be brushing over the part I don't need. Now there's a little bit of a problem with the exposure. We are going to be fixing that later on. So I just brush over where the chair is. So just like this. Now to make this effect cell, you have to actually take your time to brush over. Okay, so that is it for that part. I have to do the same for here. I think I'll just use the pen tool because it's a lot faster than just using the brush tool. Again, once I have my selection, I just grab the brush tool and I'll just brush it in there. So I'll hide all those portions, and the last part is going to be somewhere around here. So again, grab the brush tool. I'll just take every part here away. Okay, so obviously you can see that the exposure is actually making this look weird. So I'll just go to the adjustment panel and I'll click on the exposure and increase the one for the bottom. Try to make it line up to what I have in here. So not too much, just trying to make sure it is aligned perfectly. So I think an exposure of about 0.50 is just okay. And if I fit this to screen, you can basically see without the exposure and with the exposure. So I think this is looking nice already. For the shadow over here, I can also go ahead and take it out, or probably just leave it in. I'll just take it out for now. So over at this area, you can see that we have this weird looking thing. So we are going to fix that. Right click on the layer mask and go to apply layer mask. Now grab the smudge tool, that is it right here, and I'll probably select the soft round brush and I'll just brush it in like this, trying to make it seem like it's a little bit realistic. You can also reduce the size, so probably that's what I'm going to do, and try to make this cell as much as possible. Now the image is going to be distorted a little bit, but don't be too worried about it. You can also reduce the strength in case it is too much for you, and I think something like this should be just fine. So that's all for now. I think this is basically so simple that I don't have to share the PSD file, but in case you still want it, just let me know in the comments below. And I think that's all. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like to watch more of our videos, hit that subscribe button, and as always, don't forget to share with your family and friends. This is Theo from Fino Concept, and I'll see you guys in the next one.